Okay, so question 11 says solve each of the following equations, and these are the equations that we've been given. The first equation there is 2 raised to the power 2x plus 3 times 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. So now how do you solve such questions? The first thing that you need to put in mind, or the first thing that you need to know here, is that this can be written as 2x. So this part, just this part, can be written as 2 to the power x, then everything raised to power 2. We are trying to express this part in terms of 2 to the power 2. Then we say this is 3, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power x minus 4 is equal to 0. So from here we can now just say, because when you look at this, it's already in a quadratic form, so we can simply just say let y be equal to 2 raised to power x. So while there is 2 raised to power x, we put y, so meaning we're going to have y squared plus 3y minus 4 being equal to 0. So what do we do now with this? Simple. What do we do with this? We factorize this now. So after factorizing this, we are going to have something like, so okay, let me just do it, the factorization from here. So we're going to have y squared, and then we're going to have is it negative y, then we are going to have positive 4y, and then minus 4 being equal to 0. So y open brackets have y minus 1, then plus 4, we have y minus 1. Okay, here there's supposed to be a 4, and then this is equal to 0. So from there we can say y minus 1 in brackets y plus 4, like that. This is equal to 0. So what you do now is you simply just equate the 2 to 0. So meaning the first value of y that you're going to have is y is equal to 1. The second value of y you're going to have is y is equal to negative 4. So we start first by getting y is equal to negative 4. So we can say first, or you can recall that y is equal to this part, y is equal to 2x. You can write it on top there to say recall that y is equal to that, because we had equated y to 2 to the power x. So what you do is you recall, and then while there is y there, we're going to be putting 2 to the power x, and then this will be equal to negative 4. So how do you solve such a question? You introduce the ln or the logs on both sides. So introduce the log on both sides. So we can bring down this x, and then we have the ln of 2 being equal to the ln of negative 4. But when you try to use your calculator, you discover to say the ln of a negative number does not exist. Hence here we just say we have no solution because of this part. The ln of a negative number does not exist. Okay, let's quickly move on to the next question. Not next question, but we also recall, we also take y is equal to 1. So when y is equal to 1, we know to say while there is y, we have to put 2 to the power x is equal to 1. We introduce the ln on both sides. We're going to have something like this, ln 1. So we bring down this x, so meaning we're going to have x ln 2 being equal to, what is the ln of 1? That one is a special logarithm, gives you 0. So meaning to find x, you divide everything by ln 2. So we have 0 divided by ln 2. So the value of x there in the first question is just nothing but 0. So if you want to prove that this is the right answer, try to put, this is the correct answer, try to put 0 where there's x and see if it's going to give you a 0 as your answer. Okay, so let's quickly move on to the next question. So let's quickly move on to the next question. So the next question is, you do it the same way. So when you look at this part, so I'll just be leaving them in the quadratic form. I'll not be finishing them. I know everyone is able to solve a quadratic equation. Alright, so let me solve this one. Or maybe let me solve them up. Let me just solve 3 questions up to the end maybe. So we have this question here. So that question, for you to simplify it, you need to understand one rule of exponentials and logarithms. When you have, maybe you have, I'll say x, then you have ax. Let me not use x then here. Let me say maybe you have y. You have y, or let me just use any number. You have maybe 2 raised to power a x plus 1. This can also be written as, when we know to say when you are adding the exponents, it means that you are multiplying 2 numbers with the same base. When you are multiplying 2 numbers with the same base, it means that you are adding the powers. When you multiply 2 numbers with the same base, you simply just add the powers. So here they added ax plus 1. They added ax and 1 there to come to this. So same applies to this part. It means that if they added 2x plus 1, it means that they had something like 3 to the power 1, and then times 3 to the power 2x. So since we're multiplying 2 numbers with the same base, you simply add the powers. And then we say minus, we write 26 there, and then we have 3 raised to power x, and then this is just equal to 9. Or if I want, I can just even bring the 9 to the other side of the equal sign in advance. So I'm going to have negative 9 is equal to 0. So this part again takes us back to something similar to that. So meaning we can write this 3 to the power 2x as, so I'm going to say this is 3 times this can be written as 3 to the power x in brackets, and then we have a 2 outside, minus 26, and then you raise something like that, minus 9 being equal to 0. So from there you say now let y be equal to, let y be equal to 3 raised to power x. So where there's 3 raised to power x, we put y. So I'm going to have 3y squared minus 26, and then where there's 3 raised to power x, we put y, and then we have minus 9. This is equal to 0. So what we now do here is what we now do here is just simply solving the quadratic equation. So you know to say the product is 3 times 9, which gives us 27, negative 27, and then the sum is 26. So meaning there's a probability of us getting a 26 and a 1. So now it's just what just matters is which one is going to be which one is going to be positive and which one is going to be negative. So I think we're going to have a negative 27. So we have positive y, then we have a negative 27 y minus 9 being equal to 0. So here we factorize, we write our y, then we have 3y plus 1, then we have minus 9, 3y plus 1 is equal to 0. So we factorize this, we're going to have 3y plus 1 in brackets, and then we have y minus 9 in brackets is equal to 0. So after doing that, it's now easier for us to solve. So we can recall to say at one point we said this y is equal to 3x. Or first let's equate these to 0. So when we equate the first part to 0, we're going to get our value of y to be equal to negative 1 over 3. If we equate the second part to 0, we're going to get our value of y to be equal to positive 9. So from there I'm going to put, while there is y, I'll put 2 to the power x. And then according to what, not 2 to the power x but 3 to the power x. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'll say negative 1 over 3. So when we introduce the lines on both sides, this is going to be disqualified, because we know to say the ln of a negative number does not exist. So quite right, ln 3 to the power x can exist, but this part, the ln of a negative number, does not exist. Hence we just say no solution. But it is not always that when you are solving equations such as this, you find one answer to have no solution and then the other one will have no. Sometimes they may all have what's this? They may all have a solution. Okay, so applies to this part. So this part is going to be it's going to be the same way we say we introduce that to the power x, and then this is equal to 9. Then we introduce the logarithms there. We say log that, and then we have also the log of that. So you bring down this x, you're going to have x, you're going to have x log, yes, you're going to have x log 3, and then this is equal to the log of, I know 9 can also be written as 3 to the power 2. So I'll do as this. I'm going to have x being equal to the log of 3 to the power 2, or rather what I can do is I just want to simplify it as simple as possible. So these two can come down this side, so meaning it's going to be 2 log 3. It's going to be 2 log 3, and then I'll divide everything by log 3 log 3. Hence I'm going to have my value of x to be equal to 2. So x is just equal to 2. So x there it's just going to be equal to 2. Okay, so you can try to put 2 there, see if you are going to get a 9. So this will be 4 plus 1, you get 5. 3 raised to power 5 minus 26 minus times 9. See if you are going to get 5. So basically this is how you solve such questions. Let me just do the last question there. So the last question I'm going to do is the one that involves E. Because some of you, when you see E, you think you've already failed the question. No, the way you consider E is just the same way you consider other numbers. Yeah, the way you consider E is just the same way you consider other numbers. So let's try to solve this question, which is question 4. I think when I solve this one, then I'm done, because this part is similar to this part. So I meant this part is similar to this part. It's also similar to that part. It's also similar to that part. So I don't think there's no need of me solving these questions. You can solve them on your paper and then submit if you are doubting your answer. But for an equation, you don't even have to submit, because when you find your values of x, try to put them where there is x there. If you put x there, you put x there, if it gives you a 0 this side, when you add everything this side, then your answer is correct. If you put x there, you put x there. If you get 4 this side and then this side, if you get the answer this side to be equal to the answer that side, then your solution is correct. Same applies to this. When you solve for x there, you put x there, you put x there, you put x there. If you get the same answer this side and that side, then your answer is correct. That's how it is. For equations, the way you solve, the way you know whether you are correct or wrong, that's the reason why it's called an equation, meaning on both sides it's supposed to be equal, meaning whatever answer that you get this side is the answer that is supposed to be there. So let's quickly solve this one here. So we have e raised to power 4. So that e raised to power 4 can be written as e raised to power 2. Sorry, let us express it in terms of x. So yeah, so we can write it you can write it as e raised to power 2x in brackets to the power 2, and then plus it can, and then the second part there can be just written as e raised to power x. Sorry, it also has to look like this. Okay, minus 21 being equal to 0. So from there, what can we do? We let e to the power 2x we let e to the power 2x to be equal to y. If you want, you can make it z. If you want, you can put your name, but it's better you just put the what's is a single letter there. So we put y there, so I'm going to have y squared plus 4 4y. Okay, this is y, and then minus 21 being equal to 0. So we solve this quadratic equation. We're going to have y squared, then we have negative 3y, then plus 7y minus 21 is equal to 0. So from there we put y there, open brackets, we have y minus 3, we have plus 7 there, 7 is common, have y minus 3. This is equal to 0. Then we have y minus 3 there. Then we also have another y plus 7 there, being equal to 0. So from there you can now equate your y minus 3 to 0 and your y plus 7 to 0. So when you equate y minus 3 to 0, you're going to get your first value of y to be equal to 3. Then the second value of y will just be equal to negative 7. So from there, we know to say y is supposed to be equal to 2 to the power x. What we've been asked to find is x and not y. So meaning where there is where there is y, we're going to put 2x. E to the power 2x. So we have the first one we have is y is equal to 3. So we put where there is y, e to the power 2x is equal to 3. So we introduce ln on both sides. We're going to have ln e to the power 2x being equal to the ln of 3. So you bring down this 2x, you're going to have 2x ln e being equal to ln 3. So from there we know to say the value of ln e is just equal to 1. So meaning this side will just remain with 2x, then this will just be equal to the ln of 3, and then we have x is now going to be equal to the ln of 3. You divide both sides by 2, so meaning you have 2 this side. So this is your value of x. So this same applies to the last part there. You do the same. You say your value of y there is just equal to negative 7. So you introduce what? You introduce you're going to introduce the lns on both sides. So you're going to have, before you introduce ln, you recall that this part is equal to y. So meaning what is y, we put e raised to power 2x being equal to negative 7. So introduce the ln on both sides. So we're going to have the ln of e to the power 2x being equal to the ln of negative 7. Okay, so from there we'll now have to bring down this 2x down. So we're going to have 2x ln e, but we know to say we have a negative number this side, so the ln of a negative number does not exist. So meaning we have 2x being equal to the ln of negative 7, which does not exist, meaning we have no solution. So it's not always that one answer will give you no solutions. No, sometimes you get 2 answers as your values of x. So here our solution is based on this answer there, not here. So but even this one is marked as one of your solutions because it shows that you know what you are doing. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can kindly inbox me. If you don't have a question, you can simply just solve some of these questions there, and then see if you are going to understand, if you have understood what I've done or not. And then once you solve, you can send the solution. I'll check and I'll confirm whether you are correct or wrong. Alright, see you in the next tutorial video.